we have a real problem here. And I haven't heard from you, Ed, a single cut that you would make. Not one.
That's wrong, Nigel.
Well, tell me.
Well, I'll tell you.
Tell me how you're going to balance the books.
We've said that for pensioners with incomes over £42,000, we'll take away the winter fuel allowance. That's a difficult decision. We've shown how we can save hundreds of millions of pounds in local government, in policing elsewhere. But I just want to take issue. I want to take issue with this point.
Let me bring one or two.
And I want to say to Ed, we share a desire to see the back of the Tories, but surely we don't want to replace the Tories with Tory light. We need to replace the Tories with something better.
Ed Miliband,
we should make sure that all new social housing is for UK nationals only. There just seems to be a total lack of comprehension on this panel, and indeed amongst this audience, which is a remarkable audience, even by the left-wing standards of the BBC. I mean, this lot's pretty left-wing.
Hang on a second.
But very interesting.
Hang on a second.
When you talk
Nigel,
about
let me
housing,
just say one thing. This is an audience that has been carefully chosen, not by the BBC, but by an independent polling organisation to represent the balance between all parties.
It's never a great idea.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Anyway, carry on.
I think it's very interesting.
It's never a great idea to attack the audience, Nigel, in my...
The real audience are sitting at home, actually.
Well, I think Nigel Farage said something very revealing.
Can you just pick up what Natalie Bennett said about this happening since 1996?
We didn't build enough homes. Last Labour government didn't build enough homes. But I think Nigel said something very revealing, because he basically said what Mrs Thatcher used to say: you can't buck the market. Well, the problem about the market in housing, Nigel, is it doesn't work. It's not working. It's not working because large developers have a stranglehold on the market, and I'm going to do something about it, and you're not.
Would you sign us up to a European army? Because that is where EU defence is going. And I think it's important. I think it's important that we do not. Well, but are we going to have a choice on this?
No, I think it's no is the answer.
So are you saying?
Do you really think the problems caused by ISIS can be resolved with nuclear weapons?
No.
I mean, if you were Prime Minister, would you press the button if you had an opportunity?
No, it's not about ISIS. But look, let me just say, Leanne, because I think it is an important point. We are currently taking military action against ISIS. Right? I'm going to continue that.
Immigration has put public services at great risk. What are your plans to deal with this?
Now, there's someone here on this platform who wants to utterly demonise those migrants, and you know who I mean. I want to celebrate the contribution of migrants to Britain, and I believe we all should be doing that.
Is the job of the National Health Service to look after people here, or is it to be an international health service? And I can assure you, whatever you may think on this panel, the vast majority of British people want this to be a national health service.
David,
here's the problem I have with you, Nigel, is you want to exploit people's fears rather than address them. And that is the problem with what you say on so many of these issues.
I will never, ever do a deal with the Tories. Let me make that crystal clear. The polls, though, show that Ed isn't strong enough to get rid of the Tories on his own. So I will work with Labour, with Leanne, with Natalie, so that together we can get rid of the Tories.
We're prepared to work with Ed on a vote-by-vote basis. But as Leanne and Nicola have said, what we need is a much stronger alternative to the Tories, and sadly that's not what Labour is offering.
So, Ed Miliband, you've heard the offer that came from Nicola Sturgeon. She'll support you. Her offer, she said, if you pursued more progressive policies. What's your reply to her?
That I've got fundamental disagreements with you, Nicola, because in the last couple of weeks you've revealed that you haven't ruled out having a second referendum on independence in the next 5 years. Now, look, we've got very different views. I mean, I respect your views that you want to break up the country, but that's not my view. I think that would be a disaster for the working people of Britain. So we have profound differences between us, David. That's why I'm not going to have a coalition with the SNP.